If you're looking for certainty, stay tuned, because I'm going to give you the most important apps to ensure your success. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, we inspire. And we are going to go over the most important apps that are going to help you become successful. Isn't that what you're looking for in a personal development channel? I'm going to deliver it to you today. All right, here we go. How did I get to this point? Well, first of all, as always, I'm looking for new information, new ideas, new ways to educate myself. I was on the internet and I'm looking and I see an article by a gentleman named Joseph Mavericks that says, the apps I use every day to help me focus. Oh boy, here it is. Here's the answer to all my problems. I'm so excited. Here it comes. Well, I opened it up, I looked at it, and he had, I believe it was like 10 different apps that he uses, you know, with his phone, with his laptop, to help him get himself organized. And I noticed a common thread with each particular app that he mentioned. And the common thread was that it was a form of writing down certain elements that he thought about, and that each app was just kind of a unique way to store that information. All right, I took that, I put it in my mind. Then I saw another one. This is by a gentleman named Thomas Opung. And the title of his article was The Daily Habits of Great Minds. Lessons from Nietzsche, Kant, Tesla, Darwin, Einstein, and Hemingway. Okay, I know those names. Let's take a look and see what those people have done. And I'm going to quote this gentleman. Once again, his name is Thomas Opung. I want to give him full credit because I'm quoting a lot from his article because it was so good. All right. One of the things he says is, a life without a daily routine or structure is so much more draining mentally, physically, and emotionally than you can ever imagine. Because without a routine, life just sort of happens to you. The day either gets wasted, or as you try to decide what you want to do, you find yourself tangled up in the wants and needs of everybody else. Where are you going? What's your direction? Routines will help you to achieve your goals. He gives some examples. I'm going to cite some of them. Benjamin Franklin asked himself each morning at 5 a.m., what good shall I do today? And every night before bed around 10 o'clock, he'd say, what good have I done today? Now, as I go over these things with you, I want you to be thinking of some of the things that we've talked about in terms of what makes a person successful. All right, well, first of all, upon awakening in the morning, what did Benjamin Franklin do? The first thing he said, what can I do today? So he had a vision of something that he wanted to accomplish. He made a plan of something he wanted to do. He reflected. And then every night before he went to bed, what good did I do today? And at the same time, while you're thinking about that, you're also thinking about, what good can I do tomorrow? The very last thing you want to do before you go to sleep is you want to plant a seed of the vision that you want to achieve. These are things we've talked about over and over again, and we're just seeing that while successful, there's no one particular, okay, this is it exactly, but they all carry the same components. Just the same way as when Napoleon Hill went out and spoke to the 500 of the most successful people of his day when he wrote the #1 book on personal development, Think and Grow Rich. He expected to find 500 different methods, and what he found was, yeah, there was a little nuance here, a little nuance there, but essentially these people were all doing the same thing. Once again, we're finding that these people with nuances are essentially doing the same thing. Franklin used to use this habit to help him focus on his most important priorities. What's the answer that you give yourself when you say, "What good shall I do today?" History's great minds knew the relevance of stepping away from work every now and again to take time to think, to make better connections, and to ponder over their existing challenges. Studies have shown that when you take regular downtime, when you take breaks on purpose, it boosts your alertness, your energy, your productivity, your creativity, and your mental focus. Speaking to you students out there, when you're studying for the big test, when you're writing the big paper, one of the things you want to do is you want to chunk down your study time. You want to work for about 3 or 4 hours, and then you want to take a break of 2 to 3 hours. Kind of lets everything stew in your mind, and then go back to it again. You'll find that your retention and your creativity is much better. This is a proven way to study. Instead of pulling like the all-nighter where you're just constantly going over, give yourself that little study break, and you'll find that your mind is fresher and that you retain more. Charles Darwin followed a rigid schedule. He made time for contemplative walks. Albert Einstein played the violin to take a break and think about his projects, claiming that it was in some ways an extension of his thinking, that it helped him to solve tricky problems. What are we saying here? We've said this before. The subconscious mind works, I would say, in mysterious ways, but there's proven ways that it works. You're going to find that most of these guys that we talked about, these geniuses, these people that accomplished it, set aside a particular time to put their minds in a relaxing state. They would take a walk. They would play the violin. What happens is the subconscious mind is a voice from the infinite mind, and the infinite mind communicates best when you are in a relaxed state. So you must set aside time for yourself when you're in a relaxed state, when you're walking through the woods, when you're playing the violin, or in today's times, when you're driving down the road, you're in a relaxed state. When you're watching when you're at the park and your kids are playing and you're just kind of enjoying and you're watching. We've all had that experience when you've been trying to think of something, and you can't think of it, and then all of a sudden, when you're in the middle of taking a shower or you're brushing your teeth, bingo! The answer comes to you. So we know that this is the case, but if you don't allow yourself some relaxed time, that takes away from the communication efforts of the infinite mind communicating to you through the corridor to give you that information that you've been looking for. So these are the things that the great minds have told us, and once again, they have little nuances. Not everybody plays the violin, not everybody takes a walk. Like I said, Einstein used to also get some of his greatest ideas when he was taking a relaxing shower. He would sleep up to 10 hours a day. On top of that, he would take naps during the day. So he wanted his mind to be fresh. He wanted to have the opportunity to get communication from another source. Modern life, increasingly defined by unpredictability, can be stressful. A productive routine can provide the anchor of predictability you need to function at your best. History's greatest minds optimized their daily lives to get on top of their games. Routine was their secret weapon. Daily routines help us make time for what matters most to us. And when you have a daily routine, you're not thinking about it because repetition makes the routine easy, and you're able to focus more on the issues at hand. Daily practice is a game changer for your life and your career, but it pays to review every once in a while to find out what's working and what's not working. That way, you can keep doing more of what works and stop wasting time on the things that don't work. So once again, let's quickly review what these folks did. All right, they all would first of all, almost all of them would wake up early in the morning. There's a certain satisfaction you get when you get something major done in the morning while most people are still sleeping. That was a common trait that these folks had. So kind of the early to bed, early to rise, story works well for these folks. It'll work well for you. When you get old, you just do that anyway, all right? But, have some discipline, and when you get up early in the morning, your mind is fresher, and you have a chance, you're in a relaxed state, you give yourself that quiet thinking time for two purposes. Number one, to receive messages. You just want to give yourself opportunities for your subconscious to deliver messages to you on issues that you laid out there. You put them out there before you went to sleep, and you allow the infinite mind to work on them using the complete encyclopedia of knowledge, and to give you ideas in the morning or, once again, during other relaxed times. Once again, relaxed times are the best times to be receiving information from the infinite mind, your partner, when you have a burning desire. And secondly, it gives you the opportunity to make a plan, to visualize. You want to visualize the end result, and you want to see these things happening, and that will help get yourself in motion and chunk down your issues a little bit at a time. That's what these folks all did. Chunk them down in little tiny bits into achievable bite-sized pieces. You don't want to take a bite and eat the whole pizza all at once. You want to take a slice and take a bite out of it, another bite out of it, another bite out of it. Achieving your goals is done exactly the same way. And you want to take some time during the day, with some time that you schedule, to give yourself some additional relaxed thinking time, playing the violin, taking a walk, and be cognizant of the fact that that is when communication works best. So if you're looking for certainty, these are the things that the best minds on the planet historically have done. Those are the apps that they use. And once again, keep in mind that when I looked at that article where, the 10 apps I use the most to focus, they all involve thinking, planning, and putting down information. And when you put things in writing, it makes you think more clearly, because you have to write a sentence that makes sense. And in order to do that, you have to have organized thinking. All of these people used that method. So, we have some certainty. Let's model the people that are successful. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's all get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.